Announced back in January, the Lenovo P11 is finally on the US market. Hey guys, welcome back to the Hardware Sense channel. My name is Ivan, and today we are going to look at the Lenovo P11, the brand new release on Lenovo's website for mid-range Android tablets. Like I mentioned at the beginning, this one was announced earlier this year in January to be the step down from the Lenovo P11 Pro. A lot of people were expecting this one because the price was supposed to be around $200, and that's a very good price for a mid-range tablet with the specs of this one. Now finally released, the price tag at the moment is $229 plus tax, obviously. In my personal case, I had some points from purchasing other Lenovo products in the past, so I was able to bring the price down by another $50. So at the end of the day, I paid $170, which is excellent price for this tablet. Now, what's the difference between this one and the P11 Pro? There are quite a few, but let me list some of them. The P11 non-Pro, the one right here we're gonna look at today, this one has 11-inch screen, to be exact, 10.83. Screen resolution is 2000 by 1200, where the P11 Pro is slightly higher at 2K, which is 2560 by 1600, I believe. Processors, this one is running the Snapdragon 662, and the P11 Pro is running the 730. Quite a bit of a difference, but at the same time, it's not anything really humongous. It's not like it's running the Snapdragon 432 or some of the 400 series, which, by the way, one of my other Lenovo tablets is running, and it's still performing pretty good. And speaking of other Lenovo tablets, if you guys have followed my channel for a while, you already know that I have plenty of Lenovo tablets, and this is probably the oldest, kind of a yoga style one with a kickstand. And I still have this one, which is again the yoga with a keyboard. This one I've been using predominantly and kind of every day. So I have a pretty long history with tablets by Lenovo, Android tablets. This is my fifth one. Actually, I have another one that is not right here. But what is attracting me to these is price to performance. Lenovo is consistently able to provide us tablets that are not overly expensive, and at the same time are providing plenty of performance for the moment. Now the tablet market has been declining rapidly for the last couple of years. With the progression of phones getting bigger and better and faster, more and more people prefer to have just a phone and not another specific device just to browse or watch media, which tablets had that segment. But now there are just a few makers left out in the world. They are continuing to push new products. Obviously, we have Apple with the iPad. It's still number one. It's probably going to continue to be number one. Still, a lot of people are using it for their kids, for their personal use. I'm not an Apple fan, but personally, my daughter has an iPad, and I bought it consciously knowing that it's going to be the best experience for her. And on the other side, we have only Samsung pretty much that is consistently creating these kind of higher level tablets, and not so much of the lower or mid-range. They have one or two models every year maybe. And Lenovo is the other brand that actually consistently are launching tablets to compete with that higher tier or kind of mid-range or even lower tier tablets. Obviously, we have much cheaper devices for like the Fire tablets from Amazon, other less known brands. I'll call them the single serving tablets because they're so cheap, and you break it, you kind of throw it away. They just create more e-waste. Where the middle segment or the middle range tablet segment is disappearing. There's not much tablets you can buy from this price range from between 200 and 300 that will give you a good performance and at the same time will not gonna break the bank. That's why I am still recommending the Apple iPad, which is around $320, $350. Depending on the configuration. It gives a very good price performance ratio for that middle range, and if you want to go pro and buy that very expensive iPad Pro for your work, yeah, maybe that's an option, kind of like getting those very expensive Pro tablets from Samsung. But at the same time, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not that professional, or I'm not somebody that's going to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a tablet, especially running Android. For the same money, you can get a full-on gaming laptop or desktop and have a lot more fun and productivity on it. So when it comes to tablets, this is my price range, what I'm targeting, between $200 and $300 in this one at $229. I think fits the profile perfectly. We're gonna go through the unboxing and quick overview as always, and then we're gonna talk about it at the end in the conclusion. What do I like and what do I dislike with this tablet? So let's get onto it right now. Beautiful, nice box with the picture of the product on top. 4 GB of RAM on board, 64 GB of internal storage, that's UFS 2.1, and of course it's expandable with a micro SD card. Pop the top open. The tablet is laying on the top, covered with this plastic, matte plastic. I'll take it to the side for a second. So on the left side here, we have a little flap with the ejector pin for SD card slot, the warranty information, safety information, and quick start guide. On the right side, we have another flap, is housing the charger and the USB-A to USB-C cable, a rubberized cable, not too soft, unfortunately. I have so many cables, I'm probably not even going to use that one. And the charger itself, when I look at the information, yeah, unfortunately that's not a fast charger. We have 5 volts at 3 amps, so nothing really to write home about the charger. The Snapdragon 662 actually supports Quick Charge 3.0, but I don't think this charger is Quick Charge 3.0. At least I don't see any logos on it. Normally it's marked if that supports it. So you expect a long charge with this one. You're probably gonna have to kind of charge it overnight, leave it on the charger all night long in order for you to get a full charge. Nothing else, nothing too fancy. Now Lenovo has some interesting accessories for this tablet. If you go to their website, you can see pictures on them. Unfortunately, they're not yet sold in the US. One of the ones that I'm really interested in is the kickstand folio one that kind of sticks to the back of the tablet and have a kickstand. And another one has the keyboard, which the tablet has these pogo plugs, just like the Tab P11 Pro, to attach that keyboard. Folds in, you can use it as like a regular laptop. So as soon as these become available on the US market, I'm gonna grab and test as well. But now let's go to the tablet. Naturally, as every new piece of technology I'm getting, normally I try to protect it as much as possible. I don't want the screen to be scratched. I grabbed a glass screen protector. I'm gonna apply that right away. Now that I have the glass screen protector on, highly reflective by the way, you can see everything, but pretty good job applying it, I guess. So right side we have 2 speakers, top and bottom, and we have the USB-C charging port right in the middle. And on the left side, we have the power button and 2 more speakers. On the bottom, we have the pogo plugs. And on top of the tablet, we have the volume rockers. On the left side, volume up and down. And the 2 microphones, you'll see there's 2 microphones included. And right here on a little bit to the right side is our micro SD card slot. And if we look at it in the back, we have this matte plastic on the back where the logo is. We have the 13 megapixel camera with a flash. Don't take pictures with tablets, please. It looks goofy. But anyway, just worth mentioning. And at the bottom, it's all metal with the logo of Dolby Atmos right here. And that's pretty much it. Pretty slim, very solid, doesn't have any creaks or any problems with the quality. I'm really excited to grab maybe that kickstand folio because it's kind of fabric and goes right here in the back, covers the camera, because the camera, see, there's a little bump. So if you put it down on the surface, it might scratch. And then on top of that, having that kickstand will be propping the tablet like this. One of the, again, negatives I would say is coming with Android 10. Now, I don't know why Lenovo chooses to release a tablet, brand new tablet with older version of Android, where we have Android 11 already. They could have easily released it with the latest, but it is what it is. Hopefully we're gonna get 11 at some point. First thing to notice, the battery life. So you're losing about 5% of battery for 24 hours if you just leave it to idle without using it, which is not that bad. I've seen worse drains than that. And the apps the tablet comes with are not that many, and they're not really huge bloatware, I would say. Most of them are Google standard one, like this one, Bamboo Paper, is something I'm not familiar with. It came with it. Amazon Music as well. You can always go ahead and delete these. I installed a few games just to test and show you. But there's some other ones like the FM radio. So this chip supports FM radio if you plug in your headphones. One of the massive downfalls and kind of negatives for this specific tablet is the lack of 3.5mm headphone jack. I don't understand why companies exclude it from tablets that are made for media. I understand for some of the phones, especially flagships, the push towards accessories and stuff like that. But when you have a tablet that is meant for media, that you're gonna be doing all the time, and you need to plug in good headphones, especially if you have enhancements like Dolby Atmos and stuff like that, why not include a headphone jack? I don't understand it. You have to work with dongles to plug in right here in the USB-C to listen, but it is what it is. So like I mentioned, I installed a few games, and the tablet itself kind of installed a few things like Slope Go. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna have to clean up all these apps. Smart Cleaner, Squid, Tips, all that stuff. But overall, not that many and not that intrusive. It's okay, I guess. So if we swipe down, you'll see there's a lot of options on the drawer, from turning on and off your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, auto rotate, auto brightness, rings, eye protection mode, dark theme, locations, productivity mode, smart navigation, screenshot, screen recording, flashlight, the Dolby Atmos dynamic or different modes of sound, airplane mode, notification free mode, and even more here, battery saver, data saver, screencast, and all that. You can definitely edit this if you don't need that many. I personally don't. And if we go to the settings, I'm already operating on dark mode because I absolutely love it. I put dark mode on everything I can. I think it's the best option since Android 10. We have used about 55% of the internal storage, which I mentioned is 64 gigabytes and UFS 2.1. Expandable with the SD card. 11 gigabytes are taken by the games I installed, so that I wanted to test and show you, see how that Snapdragon 662 is going to perform. Definitely it's not going to be the 730 that it's on the Pro, but still you can use it for a lot of good things. And if we go to the system, firmware update, and we go to the system update, current version is this. Unfortunately, there's nothing new. It's still Android 10. Hopefully, we're gonna get 11 at some point. Standard Android 10 features on the menu. Nothing really to write home about. Display, on the display we have auto brightness, we have adaptive brightness and all that stuff, eye protection mode. So the screen is 60 Hertz, so there's no fast screens here. It's IPS 2000 by 1200 resolution, which is fine if you want to watch Netflix and stuff like that. I'm okay with that resolution. Now we know the P11 Pro has OLED screen, but at least this one is a little bit brighter, 400 nits versus the 350 on the P11 Pro. We have Lenovo Pen, so if we get the pen from Lenovo, you can use that with a tablet. That's a good option as well. I personally am not planning to use that, but I know a lot of people like to draw and use it for that purpose, so that's a good option. And if we go to our development option here, you will see out of the 4 gigabytes or 3.8, we're currently using 2.1. So 4 gigabytes is still pretty okay, I would say, for a tablet if you don't have too many things open, too many tabs on your Google Chrome or running a lot of things. So it's not really gonna struggle too much for RAM. I'm okay with the 4 gigabytes. And you'll see the screen transitions are not the fastest. I've seen a lot faster and better on phones, obviously. But overall, again, for a mid-range tablet, it's not bad at all. Now, if we go to the Android benchmark app, you will see these are the results we had. We're running sequential read 500 megabytes, sequential write 225. So essentially the speed is about kind of like relatable to SATA 3, I guess, in the PC world. It's not that slow, but it's not the fastest I've seen. Obviously, phones these days with UFS 3.1, the speed is a lot faster and closer to NVMe drive speeds. This is okay for a mid-range tablet. Again, I can't complain too much about it. It's pretty good. And then if I fire up CPU-Z, you'll see the information here. The CPU-Z is not even reading it correctly. It shows Snapdragon 665, where the Snapdragon here is 662. Thermals are actually running pretty good. Even after gaming for a little bit, the temperature is not rising too much. So PUBG Mobile is running pretty good. The settings are not the maxed out, obviously, but in my experience, it's running pretty smooth. Again, we're not using the highest possible screen settings, but having a big screen is a lot better, to be honest, especially if you're playing this game a lot on your phone. You'll see a huge difference. Playing it on the tablet is just so much better, so much more immersive. And if I go to settings and then graphics, you'll see the graphic settings. I have it on smooth and then high frame rate. So this is what I found the best without feeling too much choppiness in game. And obviously I'm gonna test it if I can plug in external mouse and keyboard through that USB-C, see how that's gonna work. Hopefully it works for those of you that want to play mobile and actually do some good kills. But even with the controls of the tablet, it's not bad at all, in my opinion. So unfortunately, using a mouse, it's not gonna help you too much in this game, since the cursor only acts like it's your finger. It's not gonna move your man around. So you're gonna still have to use both of your fingers. And let me get out of this one. Also, what I'm not a huge fan of is why did they make the corners round? I think would have looked a lot better if the display was squared off, like normally in all of other tablets out there. So with Genshin Impact, again, this is the most demanding game that I've seen so far for mobile. It's not running the highest possible settings, but at least it's not stuttering too much, it's not dropping too many frames. Of course, it's not going to be perfect. You know, this is kind of reserved for the best. This is kind of reserved for the best processors at the moment. You know, something of the likes like Snapdragon 888 or 870. Maybe those will perform a lot better, but obviously we're talking about mid-range tablet over here. It's a big open world game with a lot of good graphics that you kind of have to be prepared that your tablet is going to suffer a little bit, so you might want to lower your settings. But overall, I think it's a pretty good experience for those of you that like to play games on mobile. For me personally, I have tons of PCs to do that, so games on mobile is not really my thing, but it's possible. As you can see, for me most of it is going to be browsing, email and stuff like that, and for that it's going to be perfect. So even playing after a while, tablet gets a little bit warm here on the top side where the plastic is. If I measure the temperature with my infrared thermometer, we're looking at 36, 37 Celsius, right in the middle where probably the processor is. So that is not bad at all. Cameras, the most important one is the one that's facing you, and that's going to be perfect for all of your Skype calls, for your Zoom calls, no problem whatsoever. This is the initial unboxing and kind of an overview of the P11, the non-Pro model. Let's go to the conclusion. All right, conclusion time with the Lenovo P11 Android tablet. A couple of things to mention right away, and you guys see them throughout the video. A couple negatives that I think were missteps from Lenovo's part. They could have created a much better product if they changed those, or if they considered those for their next releases. I think releasing a tablet which is kind of tailored towards media and mid-range consumption without 3.5mm headphone jack is a big mistake. I expect that for phones and smaller devices. They try to sell you a lot of dongles and stuff like that, but for tablets, I really didn't expect that. I mean, this is a fairly new tablet by them, you know, the Yoga. This one has it, no problem whatsoever. All the older ones have it as well, but brand new tablet without 3.5mm headphone jack, I understand. The other thing, releasing with Android 10, I mean, Android 11's been out there for a while now. A lot of phones already have it, a lot of other devices already have it. I don't understand why you have a brand new tablet being released now and doesn't have the latest software. But knowing Lenovo's track record, I'm not keeping my hopes up for at least a couple months probably if we see that 11 coming onto this tablet. And you know, looking at the other ones, how often we got updates, which is not too often. I'm kind of expecting the same fate here. But I mean, it's okay. You know, a lot of people see that as a huge negative. For me, it's not that big of a deal. It's not as big as the missing 3.5mm headphone jack. But at the same time, would be nice to have updated software all the time, because this is pretty vanilla software here, pretty vanilla Android 10. There's no overlays, there's no skins, there's nothing like that. There's no special apps. There's nothing to kind of hinder the experience. It will be much easier for them to just release another vanilla 11 and consistently put out there some Security patches, this one is running a security patch from December of last year. I mean, it's been almost half a year since then. Again, I don't understand why we cannot have updated even security patches. The good things: screen is pretty bright, 400 nits, resolution is pretty good, 2000 by 1200. The sound is excellent. We have 4 speakers tuned with Dolby Atmos. Watching movies on Netflix, watching shows, it's excellent. Again, you cannot do it with headphones, at least not conveniently and right away, but the speakers are great. The screen is good, the build quality is great, the battery life is very good. They are advertising 12 hours battery life, but it's more realistic, about 9 to 10 hours watching videos. Another minor gripe, or some people might consider a big gripe, is the charging time. Now, I tried quick charge 3.0, 4.0, 45 watt chargers, 95 watt chargers. I have tons of different chargers that are vary from a very small amount, 20 watts, to like 100 watts. Neither one of those could charge this tablet fast. Neither one of those can provide a fast charging. So you're looking at overnight charging here, going to bed, plugging it in the morning. It's okay, because charging time takes 7 to 8 hours. I mean, I don't understand why. You could have just give us a technology. I mean, the Snapdragon 662 is supporting Quick Charge 3.0. Why not? Even if you're not providing a charger, why not give us this fast charging? I don't understand. I think it's a misstep. It's a cost cutting that is affecting people that really rely on that fast charging, but you're not gonna find it here. Again, I think for $229, it's a good tablet. There's not much competition for that price range around. So it's still gonna be providing you a good entertainment. For gaming, it's not gonna get the best frames, but playing PUBG, playing some of more demanding games, you can tune it out to kind of have a smooth experience at the same time, not have the worst visual experience. So it's kind of, again, in the middle of the pack when it comes to that kind of performance. For me, it is something of a commodity. If you are having this kind of money, why not just spend another 100 and get a iPad, right? Or at the same time, if you're using it for a lot of games or productivity, just spend another, $300 and get yourself a laptop, or a little bit more and get yourself a gaming laptop. This is for people that have all these other devices, and if you really want something on the go to kind of just watch movies on bigger screen or check your email on bigger screen, for me, definitely helps. Getting older and not seeing too good, it's better than having a phone in your hand. But this is it for the initial review. I'm going to do a long-term, of course, see how the battery performs, see what can we improve with the software. Hopefully we're gonna get some more software updates in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now, guys. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video, stay tuned to the channel, subscribe if you're new, hit that bell notification to get notified for every new review coming your way. I have tons more coming very, very soon. And if you wanna support the channel directly, all the links will be down in the description below. And until next time, guys, you have a wonderful day.